So do you find that doing all things and wearing all hats, do you find that made you a better team leader and a better communicator to your staff at some point?
I hope so. I mean, I think if you have to do things the hard way in the beginning, it makes you able to communicate that a little more effectively. I hope. Sometimes people come in right out of school and they take for granted how easy things are for them. It's like, oh, things are so easy here. You guys do everything. Like, yeah. So you try to do a good job of communicating. This is how it was in the beginning. Like we struggled. We had to figure out. There was times where we had to meet somebody, an angel investor, on the corner at 11 p.m. to make payroll the next day. Like that doesn't happen anymore, but that happened in 2020 or 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. Like we went $12.5 million in debt before we made a cent of profit. Like we went way backwards. I took out personal loans. I took out a personal loan for $150,000 on top of my student loans, my house loan, my car loan. It was a very, very stressful but super exciting time because you were building something and you were too dumb to know that it was probably going to fail. And then when it didn't fail and it was successful, you're like, oh yeah, we knew what we were doing the whole time. It's a piece of cake.
Nice. Well, that blows my question is, did you have to borrow money and where'd you get it? And that's definitely a thing that people are afraid of right now. And I know I was too. Same thing. The idea of borrowing so much money. It's so great that you had faith in yourself and the business model that you were participating in. And that's really the key takeaway that I have for it, which is, you anchor into something that is working. And like you said, good thing we're too dumb to assume it's going to fail at first when we're young, and you just go forward with good faith. That's great.
Yeah, I think fear holds people back too much. I know it is terrifying to take a loan out and potentially lose all that money and be forever in debt, but you can't let fear hold you back if you know something is really good and if you believe in yourself. So you want to open your own practice, whatever it is, like have faith in yourself. And even if it's hard, just keep moving the right direction, doing the right thing. It'll eventually work out.
Excellent. So now, just one quick question. I know this is, off topic a little bit. Is Arasti a franchise? Is that something you would buy into as a franchise? You'd be hired as an employee, and then they would help. They would provide everything for you.
Yeah, so it's a pretty thorough interview and hiring. So recruiting and hiring takes quite a while. We call it the gauntlet. You go through a number of phone interviews with HR, with various chiropractors that we have working here. Then we bring you in for what we call Discovery Day, and you go through basically a gauntlet of meeting with various members of senior management. You do a practical evaluation, which is not meant to be tricky. It's kind of like part four. It's not necessarily pass fail, but we just want to see your thought process. Are you safe? Are you dangerous? Can you communicate with the patient? Can you take an exam and give a relatively, reasonable diagnosis? We don't care if it's the right diagnosis, but does the diagnosis match the exam? And does your treatment that you're going to recommend match the diagnosis in the exam? So we just want to see that you have a good thought process, you're a problem solver. At the end of the day, then we all get together and we say, yep, we'd love to hire this person and put them on deck for the next training class. We have 8 training classes a year. Everyone that comes in is a W-2 employee. We take care of all the finding the locations, all the taxes. We have 401k. We've got paid time off. We have a lot of things that most companies don't have in healthcare, I guess.